In this video, I'm going to tell you how to get some easy kills in Battlefield 5 Firestorm. Tip number 1 is to flank. The more unaware your enemy are, the better are the chances to get a kill. You have probably been in a situation yourself where you have no idea where the enemy is shooting from and you die before you have a chance to even shoot. How do you fix that? By being the guy who killed you. You always want your enemy to be facing away from you. This means you can shoot more shots before the enemy spots you, and hopefully you have killed him before he does. I'm going to explain this more clearly. Basically, if you see an enemy that doesn't see you, then sneak up on him from the side or the back. If the enemy have seen you before you flank, then find some cover, check your surroundings, and start to flank as soon as you can. The next tip is to never stay in the same place for too long. If you have shot an enemy and he's been running behind cover, it's best for you to change your position. He will likely be looking at the spot where you were shooting him from in the first place, so this is a great opportunity to flank him. Another vital thing about not staying in the same place for too long after shooting is that you will attract other enemies, and you could find yourself being surrounded. Let's move on to another tip, which is to aim for the head. This could be the difference between winning or losing a fight. The damage increases so much by doing headshots and will be the deciding factor in many cases. And I'm not talking about only aiming for the head when you play as a sniper. You should do it always. A great way to be better at this is to play some of the other game modes and aim for the head in every encounter. The fourth tip is to hunt down wounded enemies. Compared to PUBG, it's much easier to recover fast in Firestorm. In many cases, your enemy could be fully recovered with armor and health within a couple of seconds after being severely wounded. So once you have damaged an enemy, you should run after him and finish the fight. This is also a great way to become better and more confident in your overall game. Be the hunter, not the prey. The next tip is to have a good weapon combination. You can have two weapons and some different combinations depending on what you find and your style of play. First combination is one close combat weapon and one middle range weapon. For example, a Thompson SMG and a M1A1 carbine. You can also use assault rifles as the STG-44 and set it to single fire. This combination is very good in close combat, very good in middle range combat, and okay in long range. The next type of combination is a short to middle range weapon and a long range weapon. For example, the Sturmgewehr and Kar 98K. This combination is okay in close combat, very good in middle range, and very good in long range combat. Let's do an overview of everything I've talked about, and I will show you some of my gameplay and how I apply these strategies. In this situation, I've been in a firefight and been wounded, as you can see. I'm healing. So what I'm doing here is that I'm moving away from the place where I first were when I was fighting him and try to flank him. So you can see here I spot him and killed him without him even having a chance to get a shot at me. So that's both how you don't stay in the same place for too long and how to flank. Here I know there's an enemy waiting for me upstairs, hiding in the right corner, so what I try to do is get the aim where I think his head will be. I think he's crouching, but I realize that he's standing up once I see him, so I get my aim on his head, and that's probably why I won the fight. What I'm going to show you here is basically how to hunt down an enemy. I'm going for some loot, not being very focused and aware. So I shoot this guy and try to kill him, but he runs away. I know that he is low on health, so I don't play it safe. I just go for the kill and As you can see, I killed him before he could even get a chance to recover. Let's move on to the weapon combinations. This combination is an STG-44 and a Sumi. This is a typical middle range and short range weapon combination. And as you can see here, I'm in a very tight situation where the Sumi is the perfect choice to get a kill. And it was especially effective since I aimed on his head. In this clip I have a ZH-29 and a Sturmgewehr. So basically a long range weapon and a middle to short range weapon. And lastly, here I have the Gewehr 43, which is in my opinion a long range weapon if you have a scope. And then I use the STG 44 as a close to middle range weapon. As you might notice, there's some weapons that can be used as both. That's it for this time. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Have a great life.